This word comes to us from Isaiah chapter 9. For a child has been born for us, a son given to us. Authority rests upon his shoulders, and he is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. These beautiful words of prophecy for us reflected in the advent or the coming of Jesus the Christ. So many traditions built around his coming, both highly religious, as we experienced on Christmas Eve, and also there are those secular stories that get told to reflect some of the aspects of who Jesus is and what God has brought into the world. 60 years ago, one of the most cherished childhood Christmas television shows debuted, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The famous reindeer went on a trip with two traveling companions, Hermie the elf, you remember he wanted to be a dentist, and the wild-eyed explorer Yukon Cornelius. They find themselves at one point in a place called the Island of Misfit Toys. It was a land filled with rejected toys that no one wanted because, well, there was something wrong with them. The toy train, it had square wheels. The water pistol, it would squirt jelly instead of water. And then there was a doll with low self-esteem, an elephant covered in spots. All of them were banished. They were exiled and shunned on this island of misfit toys, never to be chosen or loved. Now, this scene was probably meant to teach empathy and compassion. There's an important lesson here about not judging others about their shortcomings, because, in fact, all of us have them. It seems the lesson worked. In 1964, when the show debuted, the show ended with the toys being left on the island, never being rescued. Well, the lesson that taught was, in fact, quite strong. A number of angry children flooded the network with letters about how they were upset that the toys were never rescued. They were just left there. And the boys and girls who wrote were angry and wanted to see it changed. And so in 1965, a year later, they added a new part to the show that has been there ever since. At the end of the show, Rudolph and Santa descend onto the island. Santa scoops the toys up, puts them into his bag and onto the sleigh, giving them to boys and girls around the world who eagerly receive them and give them the one thing they have always wanted and never had, the gift of love and acceptance. If you think about it, as much as God created us to be people of peace, hope, love, and joy, we are an imperfect people. If we're honest, all of us, we're kind of like a bunch of misfit toys. I understand we might not want to admit it. We spend a lot of time trying to project to other people that our lives are a lot better than, well, maybe they really are. If we're honest, if we're truly honest, we are kind of a bunch of misfit toys. Truth is, we all have our hang-ups, we all have our habits, and we all have our heartaches. In the book, Almost Christmas, the authors write, if only someone could come and rewrite the script for us, to add a scene, to do for us what we cannot do for ourselves, to scoop us up and show us what unconditional love and second chances might look like. Well, here's the good news. The good news is that is what Christmas is all about. The writers continue. In Jesus, God became a misfit just like us, a human being susceptible to the same vulnerabilities that we face every single day. God drew near to us so that our story can have a new ending, one that is with hope and possibility and the promise of new life. There is no sense hiding from God the fact that you and I aren't perfect. You can't go ahead, you can go ahead and admit to yourself and to God that you made mistakes. And you feel like the chips are stacked against you to break free from this misfit life. But the good news of Christmas is that God is here. God has come to you in Jesus to be with you and tell you that you have not been forgotten. You're not alone. God is calling you, scooping you up into a whole new adventure in which you can follow Christ's lead, embody his example, and learn to love God and love people. There is a Christmas song that also hints at the new year. Amy Grant sang it, and it seems appropriate with these words we've just heard to think of the words of that song again. It goes something like this, and I'm doing this from memory, but let's see what happens. May the new year be blessed with good tidings, till the next time I see you again. May we all join hands and remember this moment till the seasons come round again. On behalf of your misfit pastors and staff of Trinity United Methodist Church, Happy New Year. We will see you Sunday, January 5th, ready to begin a new year with hope and with peace. Amen.